Hey, I'm Ramon Ray, founder of Smart Hustle Media, and we're at Sweet World. By the time you watch this, it'll be over. Thousands of people will be gone, but the stories and the lessons we're going to hear today will still remain. So thanks for being with us, Pam. We appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank
Pam,
you.
You're welcome. Can you just give us your full name and your role at Kiva?
Yes, I'm Pam Yanchik Connealy, and I'm the CFO and COO at Kiva.
Awesome. And for those who don't know, the little I've read, but I know quite a bit over the years, Kiva is an amazing organization that doesn't have donations.
That's right.
But loans for people, often in. Well, why don't you tell the story? What's Kiva?
Yeah, so Kiva really is focused around eliminating and reducing financial exclusion globally, and particularly focused on the working poor. So through kiva.org, which is one of our financial processes, we're able to crowdfund loans. So you could give a $25 loan, I can give a $25 loan, and a $50 loan ends up going to a woman in Lebanon that is building a dress store, or a man in Guatemala that is building a herd of cattle to be able to build a business. And so we're based in over 80 countries. We've lent through the platform $1.2 billion. And
that's a big number.
By July of this year, $1 billion to women globally.
Nice.
And it's just a virtuous cycle. You give a loan, it gets repaid, and the repayment rate, Ramon, is about 97%.
That's
That
high.
is really high.
It's like astronomical.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so again, then the loan comes back and being paid, and then you put out another loan, and you'll get notified that it's time to give out another loan. And so it's just a beautiful virtuous cycle to be able to continue to loan, and for people that are really the working poor of our world are able to really build up their own their businesses, their communities. Yep, it's really
and help us understand the obvious question. I know when I started Smart Hustle Media, I went to my local branch, and I filled out some forms from the SBA connected to SCORE, and whoop-de-doo, months later, there was money in my bank account. Why can't the gentleman in Guatemala, the lady in Nairobi, the young entrepreneur in Egypt, why can't they just walk down the block and fill out a form and hit a little button on their fancy iPad and get money?
That is really
it's rhetorical, of course, but
it's actually quite an important question, because that actually has led us to a new product that Kiva is launching this year, and it's called Kiva Protocol. So what we find is that because these individuals and these organizations get a loan, they repay it in sometimes 30% interest rate. So they're paying a lot. Now, it's always cheaper than if they were getting a loan from their community,
sure.
Their community guy, but they're not building up banking history. They're not building up, in many cases, they don't really even have a proper identity. So we've identified that the things that are also causing issues for people to be able to move up the economic scale is really identity and credit. So this year we are launching our first identity and credit platform, leveraging blockchain technology and distributed ledger, that will launch first in Sierra Leone, will then move to other countries globally, and it really is an opportunity for people that have really not had identity and not had credit to be able to leverage the work that they've done, and the payments that they've made and the repayments that they've done, and be able to really start moving up that scale, so that then they can actually start banking with the real banks in their countries.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that the infrastructure is probably not there like we're so used to here in the States or other IETs or developed countries, for lack of a better word.
Yep.
I guess the infrastructure is just not there. There's no congressional small business administration.
No,
There's
that's right.
All that we take for granted here.
And so much is still in paper.
Yeah.
So, for example, in Haiti, after the terrible environmental issue there, people's property ownership documents were destroyed in the hurricane.
And that's all you have?
And that's all there was. And so because there was an identity and credit, and also the ability to really be able to say that piece of property belongs to me, everything was up for grabs. And in particular, women are often on the negative end of that, because a man could come in and say, look, that's my property, and she has no record to say that it's hers.
In the U.S., we have enough issues with that, but other countries, I know it's more even a horrific.
That's right. That's exactly right. So it's in paper. It's in multiple databases. I mean, we're as I said, we're in Sierra Leone right now, And really, when we've gone in there, they're very open and excited to work with us. They were very catastrophically hit through Ebola,
Absolutely.
and so they're very excited to work with us. And the UN agencies there, the president of Sierra Leone talked about the work that he's doing with Kiva at the UN General Assembly in September. So we're really quite excited and really optimistic about what's possible if we're able to really capture the credit history and create identity for people.
Yeah.
The other people that really are most harmed around identity and credit are refugees. So when you leave Syria in the middle of all of the terrible political environment there, and you move into Lebanon or you go into Palestine, you've basically given up your identity in order to leave the country. And so think about that. You might be a doctor, you might be an accountant, you might be somebody that works in the press, and you leave and you just are nothing.
And
you
that's
have
less
no
than
idea.
ground zero. Not
That's
like
exactly
even,
right.
Yeah.
Right, because you often have humanitarian issues. You have people that were injured.
You're just trying to survive.
That's exactly
Not even
right.
trying to get a certificate
That's
again.
right.
You just-
Exactly. And so we're really doing a lot of work with refugees, particularly in Lebanon and in Palestine. And again, hoping that we're able to get them identity and start to build up a credit history as
Nice.
well.
Let's shift to the role of technology. We're here at today at least,
Yeah.
there's 10,000 or more, looks like 100,000
I know, right?
people with us, all most geeks and propeller heads. I say that lovingly because I'm one. Why is Kiva, who's saving the world, dealing with a nonprofit organization, or are you a nonprofit organization?
We are,
Okay,
yeah,
nonprofit organization.
501c3, yep.
I know that's careful, but a nonprofit organization helping people change their lives. Why are you here at a tech conference? What is NetSuite and Suite World and Cloud and CRM?
Yeah,
what
all
does
of
that have
that.
to do with Kiva?
Everything.
Okay.
That's the crazy. So we really are the intersection of social impact, financial services, and technology. The majority of our organization is either an engineer or somebody working on the social impact on the programmatic side. And the rest of us are there to support both of those organizations. So we have a very deep engineering team, and Kiva runs on NetSuite. So when I first joined Kiva in August of last year, I assumed that I would come into a 501c3, a small organization, and we would be run on bailing wire and Excel spreadsheets. And I was so pleasantly surprised that we had NetSuite as the real heart of the Kiva financial system. So think about Kiva. We are all about money in
Yes.
and money out. And so having a robust financial system like NetSuite and having our engineers that really help us make the connection between NetSuite, our core financial system, and our partners all over in 80 plus countries.
And I know I just want to underline that partners. That's a big part of it. You have, what do you
That's
call
right.
them? Trusted, these are words you have on your website. Trusted partners, financial partners.
That's
the
what
people
they're microfinance
Yes.
institutions, yes, and they're globally,
Yeah.
and they're in some of the poorest countries in the world. And so we build interfaces and APIs between NetSuite, our core systems internally, and each of our partners.
Okay.
So we really are a technology company.
I love it.
When I first came to Kiva, people would say, "Are we a nonprofit? Are we a social impact organization? Are we a
Right,
financial
right.
services? Are we high tech?" I said, "Yes."
You said, "Yeah, I'm
We're
sure,
all of
yes."
those. I can hold all of those really lightly, and so that's why we're here. That's why we're a huge, just hugely grateful to NetSuite and the work that they've done and the discounts that they provide to organizations like Kiva. I'm not sure how we could be doing new products and new initiatives if I didn't have a core financial system like NetSuite in place to make me sleep better at night.
And I should have asked you this first. Let's talk about the nonprofit or the regular business that is with bailing wire and duct tape and et cetera, as we say, spreadsheets and sticky notes. The companies that are running like that.
Yep.
NetSuite are not. Can you just imagine with me?
Absolutely.
What are they like? What is it like going into an organization, a 5,000 person or 500 person organization that's doing their best? They're using Excel spreadsheets, sticky notes, old databases. What are they up? What are they like? Tell us, paint that picture best you can.
Yeah,
What
so
is that like?
I've worked with many organizations like that through the years, and very hardworking. Like, I think those organizations, particularly the finance teams, they work themselves ragged because everything has to tick and tie. You also it's a pretty risky situation because if somebody leaves that helped build this immense spreadsheet, you have no idea what they did, what the assumptions were. You have no ability to really maintain the history. And so
brain drain, I guess.
It's totally that, right? And so it's really quite problematic for these organizations. So that's why one of the things that I've always appreciated about NetSuite is being able to put something in that does have a nice lightweight footprint so that it could work for a smaller organization than a large organization. But I think in today's environment, we need to make sure we have good internal controls. We have good, access capabilities to make sure that the people setting up a new vendor are not the same people paying a vendor.
That's a big issue.
Right? And so
you don't want to be in the front cover.
No,
it's
that's
one
right.
of America's big papers.
And even if you're a small organization, like you're there and you're working so hard, and for someone to do something inappropriate, that is just a real heartbreaker, right? So I think, figuring out how to make an investment in a system that will scale with you, that will allow for the appropriate internal controls like NetSuite, I think is a really good thing to think through.
Last question is going to be a very easy question. Can you tell us what can we do, Pam, to help Kiva? And not help Kiva. This is not about Kiva. From what I've seen and know your pedigree of your work, this is about other people. But I have a guess what you're going to say already. Some of that Kiva.com maybe, but
that's right.
let me answer the question. My question is, what can we do to help your mission?
My request to all of you is to go to Kiva.org and find somebody on the website that looks appealing to you, and make a loan, and give it a shot. So my family is from Lebanon, and so my very first Kiva loan was to a Lebanese woman named Fatima, and she was buying hair care products because she was building a salon in Beirut and was looking to expand and to be able to hire people and to buy new products. And so she was my very first loan.
Nice.
And over time, I've been repaid by her, and then I've given her another loan. And we do the same thing in the U.S. So if you really care deeply to do a loan in the U.S., we have many U.S. borrowers as well. And it's everything from I have a friend at Outlaw Soap, which is in Northern California, or another really great Kiva borrower that makes empanadas in Oakland, California.
And they are talking about.
And they are good empanadas. But her example is a great one. She got a $400 Kiva loan, she repaid it, and she set up a catering business with her first loan. Then she got a $1,500 loan and bought a food truck. And then she got a $2,500 loan that then she remodeled the food truck. And each time she pays back the loan with interest to the organization and really just continues to build up. And now she has a team of 4 people. She's been able to be very successful. And when she talks about her life today versus her life before the Kiva loan, it's a world of difference. And the other thing, Ramon, that's really impactful is to watch her daughter. Right? Her daughter sees my mom is able to work really hard and to really make a change for the family, for the community, for everyone that she's been able to hire.
And raising another hope. Doesn't have to be. Maybe she'll grow up and work for a company.
Yeah.
But another possible entrepreneur who's a bit smarter, learned lessons from her mom about money, and maybe,
That's right. That's right. But and there's so many organizations that really support these entrepreneurs about how to think about balance sheet, how to think about hiring, think about the small organizations that you often talk to, and they really need to learn.
Absolutely.
And so it's so critical. And so the loans and the partnerships that we have in the field really help these people to thrive. I mean, sometimes I just look at them and think they are so much more powerful in the world, and they will be able to be so much more resilient than if they did not have a Kiva loan.
And to underline that one thing you said is that let's remember that I wish we could have a commercial break and go on for another 10 hours. We can't though. You can, I can.
No,
but
we have other things to do.
But I was going to say that this $400 loan, $100, whatever it is that she's hiring more people.
Absolutely.
They're providing food then to the local grocer. That's it's just
totally.
it's exponential.
It's a virtuous cycle.
This already,
it's
but
so
it
beautiful.
Me.
Oh yeah, no, it's the return on a $400 loan is immense, and I'm just proud and honored to be working at Kiva, and I'm excited to be at NetSuite and be able to share the success of NetSuite because they've helped Kiva be successful as well.
Listen, we've had a great conversation with Pam of Kiva. Don't forget to go to Kiva.org. I'm Ramon Ray with Smart Hustle Media, and we're, as we speak, live at Sweet World 2019 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Take care.